Or am I? Never know.
Oh no.
No, I'm not recording. Say whatever you want. No. Right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no. Yeah, if you guys don't know the name of that, I just called it muscle memory. That was just the name of the thing because I don't know, it sounded cool, I guess.
Okay.
I know the last episode I said I wanted to do it bi-weekly, but I think it took me a month to come up with the second episode, so I kind of suck.
Yeah, I would think so. It was very elaborate.
Yeah.
I remember that the one video that I did, it was like a combo video for Vega. It took me at least 2 weeks, like with recording and then clipping and editing and all that stuff. I hate editing so much.
I don't mind editing. It's just like getting the clips I don't like, but when it comes to actually like being in the editing program and doing the editing part, I don't mind that whatsoever.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, you should help me out with that. Because I think it takes so much time on the whole editing and finding, because it's just like finding the clipping. It can be time consuming, but I can see it's fun while you're at it already.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna get started here. This is another episode of Muscle Memory. I'm still the host, Slain Man. Unfortunately, Joe, he's on vacation. He's enjoying some lovely time with his wife off in I forgot to ask where he is, so I'm assuming he's somewhere nice. So so instead of that, we have Marsh here as another fellow Geef main.
Hey.
Yeah, there we go. And we have Maskednobleman here as
what's up, guys?
As our resident Vega player. If you didn't read the title of the video, we're obviously talking about Geef versus Vega. Before we do start though, I want to clarify with myself that I fucking hate Vega. So I'm even trying my best to be non-biased. It's also I try to look at everything from a critical, like from like a non-biased standpoint, because I want this to be as informative as possible. And it's just like, if I'm just gonna be like, it's like, oh, that's pretty cool, but fuck Vega, that's not gonna help. That's also why you're here and not Seal, because if Seal is here, it'd be a 3-hour long video of me and him arguing.
yeah, that sounds like Seal.
He thinks it's 5-5. Yeah, but I just want like quick initial thoughts, because like I hate it. I think will always think it's in Vega's favor, but but I want your the quick thoughts, like just the initial thoughts of like what do you guys think?
Okay. Yeah. Marsh, you want to go first?
Yeah. Just the Vega Zangief matchup. I feel like out of all of Zangief's like hard matchups, I feel like it's one of the special matchups, because even though I do feel that Vega has the advantage, it's a very distinct advantage that requires certain things to happen, which for Zangief, the biggest issue for Geef is how hard the matchup is going to be is determined by your pace, how you go into the match from the very beginning. Like, it can either be the easy kind of hard matchup, or it can be the literally just unplug your controller hard matchup.
Nobleman, what do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree. And as a Vega player, it is, and I agree with Marsh, it's a very distinct matchup, because Vega has a really strong mid-range game. Like, that's his whole design. It is during block strings or even coming from long range. The idea is that he will transition to mid-range, okay? And Geef has to make a choice, right? Geef has to either jump in to risk getting anti-aired to get in, or try to play footsies with Vega. And that is, what Vega wants. But it is also, it's very interesting, because if a Geef player is able to score a knockdown on Vega, a hard knockdown, that Vega wouldn't be able to back roll out of, that it's either a quick rise or a non-recovery. And putting Vega in 50-50s, then that's when Geef actually can turn the match into his favor. But it is the initial of getting over the mid range where Gief can struggle. But after that, Vega's defense can be very poor. He has some evasion, and we can talk about that later. But I think that it's a matchup that it can go easily on either Vega's favor, if he's able to frustrate Gief enough, or the Gief player has to have a very good reads, and he has to know the matchup very well. But I think that it can be a 6-4 matchup in Vega's favor, and maybe in high level it could be maybe 5.5 on Vega and the rest on Gief. I think.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, no, I would agree with that so far. Yeah. Yeah, but
I think like to elaborate on that, it's primarily the very start of the matchup and positioning wise. I feel I've talked about that with Nash before, like during those days with Cannon in the forum. Like with Nash and Vega, too, the key point is you have to get them to the corner. Like once you get them to that corner area, that's when the very fight, it's going to take a turn for either your favor or Vega's favor, because Vega will have to do something to get out of the corner once you got him in that spot. Like the toughest it will get for Gief is in the middle of the screen, where Vega has all his options, still has plenty of room to back up, get away.
Yeah. So the first thing I want to go over is because you were talking about Vega's mid range. So just trying to play the neutral with a Gief versus Vega, because Vega can kind of do his normal game plan of whatever the hell he feels like. There is the walk speed, there is his great buttons. The only unique thing I can think of off the top of my head is that Vega can't use forward heavy punch in this matchup very much whatsoever, because it'll get punished by Gief's crush light punch every single time, no matter where he is on the screen.
Yeah, I completely agree. For example, Vega, even after 9 months or 10 months, I don't know, since the game has been released, he has still been like rediscovered. Like during you can like check with the Discord, on the Vega Discord, we're still figuring him out in terms of should he be played more with 80% claw, 20% claw off, or 80% claw off and 20% claw on, and that can really change the matchup, changes the way the Gief has to play. Like you mentioned, for example, the Buster Claw, his forward Fierce Punch, that is minus 13, right? So Gief can, crouching light punch that all day. However, another move that is minus 13 and has almost the same range as his V-skill. I don't know, but lately, Vegas, like we've been kind of like adapting that V-skill a little bit more. And that cannot be punished as easily. And it isn't because it's minus 13. It's the fact that there's a vulnerable hurt box that is hanging there when we do Buster Claw, when Vega does that, on his feet, the green box is left for a lot longer than when he uses the V-skill. When he uses the V-skill, the hurt box, it is gone really quickly. So you can try Gief's and other characters can try to punish it, and they won't be able to. They would have to use a move or a special move that closes the gap. For example, a tackle, a dash punch, or even a Chun-Li's EX legs. So against Gief, that has been what has changed in the matchup. It's using the V-skill more with Claw. With Claw, it has more range than without Claw. And also chip damage with medium swipes. That move that kind of like, thrusts Vega back, but he's also able to, it's very active. But that has been a change that I've seen lately, or at least I've been adopting and we've been talking about in the Discord.
Okay. Mark, do you have anything to say about Vega's neutral or anything like that?
Well, really, I'm thinking about what he just said because I'm testing it out in the lab, and I'm seeing what he's talking about. That's making me kind of think a little bit about how Vega might play the neutral later on, but
Yeah. I haven't seen many Vega players try to go for that as of recently or at all. But
yeah, one of the things that so whenever Zangief has to play a Vega, I think that there's like 4 kinds of Vegas. I think maybe 3 just to keep it simple. Like the Vegas that like to slide a lot, right? Like they kill themselves like sliding. That's their only way in because they're frustrated and it works online. And that's it feels good to get that crush counter, but then it sucks whenever like give B skills that shit and then like they SPD him, and that's one kind of Vega. And then there's a Vega that that doesn't work, I'm gonna jump on you, and then they get light punch, and they're like, okay, so I'm gonna EXY in Barcelona, and then they get a lariat on the ground. But there's that kind of Vega, and then there's a Vega who will play with the claw on, and the Vega that will play with the claw off. And I think that it is very obvious that Vega's buttons are better than Zangief's. Like there's no question about that. And if a Vega is getting outclassed by Zangief's light punch, then it is solely the Vega's fault. We Vegas, even I have complained, oh man, Zangief's crouching light punch is so good. But then it doesn't make sense that I have this library of great buttons and I'm getting beat by that. Then that means that I need to change something. That being said, I think that the one button that in neutral that at least Vega's buttons in neutral, especially with claw on, they can be whiff punished. Yeah, they're fast. Even his medium punch, which reaches really really far, but he does have a the animation of the claw. His hurt box is actually where his hand is. It isn't really that far. So you can be if a Vega is very happy using that claw, trying to keep you out, you can definitely try to go for a whiff punish with crouching light punch, I believe. And that being said, I was playing a guy named Kitchen, a Zangief player, and I think that it was like I ran into him twice on ranked. And I think that one of the best approaches to Zangief, from Zangief to Vega, it is that variety of being able to play neutral, being able to not be afraid to use the V skill, and then jumping, like keeping Vega's focus not only like on the ground and then suddenly jumping in. I mean, no one can react to a jump in 100% of the time, especially Vega, which his fastest anti-air is 9 frames, right? And then followed like that, those are his crouching fierce punches. And then at mid-range, it is his swipe, which is 12 frames, like anti-air swipe. And then his max distance is his standing fierce kick, which can lead to a crush counter. But a Zangief that is able to mix his offense with dashing in, and then attempting playing the neutral with punishing, then using his knee move. I don't know which it is, but it has a lot of it forces block from far away, and mixing that with jump-ins.
Zangief's knee?
I think that's what it's called, yeah.
The forward medium kick. I don't remember the actual name of it. It's just called hop something.
Probably, but I like that move because it forces, it tells if the Vega is walking back and blocking, and I think, if I'm not mistaken,
that's the name of it?
I think it forces block
okay.
from a long distance. But anyway, I think a Zangief that is able to mix that in the neutral, even taking the risk of jumping in and not usually just relying solely on the fierce punch, which that can be whiff punished very easily. I think that he has a higher chance of closing the gap on Vega and then starting his Oki. You know what I mean? But I don't know if you would agree with that.
I agree with it. It actually makes me remember it was sort of a story from the Street Fighter 4 days. It was some tournament in Texas, and I was about to play El Cubano Loco, and I saw Snake Eyes, and I was trying to ask him for like a tip, like a quick tip. This is like, I'm about to play Cubano Loco. What do you do in that matchup against him? Because I know he's played him before at least once. Mm-hmm. And he literally just told me, I just keep jumping at him, pick a spot and jump at him, which, I mean, I kind of did that, and it did help. I almost beat Cabana Loco, but it pretty much translates into this game too. Is what you said is along with all the other options Geef has, you also keep repping the jump option because on top of all of his good jump in normals he has to mess with people's anti-air normals. You can also, if Geef is afraid of getting crush countered, you can actually mitigate that by just empty jumping. So there's nothing to crush counter. Because if you
Correct.
empty jump with Geef, that makes a lot of anti-airs whiff, or it'll make, depending on the distance or if they're shallow, like Vega's crouching fierce punch, it will whiff if their timing is slightly off, even if Geef is jumping pretty close to him. So then you just empty jump, scoop them up for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, because with how weak Vega's anti-airs are compared to most people, you do have to challenge it a lot. I do like the knee hammer thing. I can't believe that's the name of it. It's such a weird name.
Knee hammer.
Yeah, that's the actual name of it. Forward medium kick. I was gonna call it forward medium kick, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that move does get you closer. It can beat Vega's slide because it has some airborne frames, so it beats a lot of low moves like that.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and there's also the fact that the thing you said before, proximity block is from pretty far away, and I don't know if it's just me, but there's a lot of times I see people who this mainly happens with people with slow anti-airs because they've trained themselves to react to upwards movement. So it's like if you fight a Bison player, it's like, oh, I have to react really quickly with this crouch heavy punch. So I've seen like if I go for like forward medium kick and delayed SBD, that classic gimmick. I've done that and I've seen people like do their anti-air button because they saw upwards movement.
Huh.
Yeah.
I've done that actually. I did that. I'm pretty sure I did that before. Whenever I played you with Nash before, when I saw the D coming, I just pressed a crouching medium punch. I was like, damn.
It works like a panic button, and it works.
Yeah, I just saw him hop, and I was like, yeah, I got to stop that.
Do you remember the name of the move Vega has where you can choose to slash like upwards, middle, or low? I don't remember.
Okay, that move, just simplicity's sake, I call it the slash, but it's the aura spin edge.
All right, well, I guess just slash will do, because I know that
Yeah,
that move is really works really really well from what I've seen. Because Geef can't punish it, and he can't really. I know he can't really contest the medium one if you're far away enough. Or like any button,
Correct.
any button Geef will stick out. Like will get beaten up. The best I've seen is like headbutt or like stand heavy punch trading with it.
Correct. So the light punch swipe, it hits low. So it's the equivalent of a crouching, kick, but a very active one. It has a lot of startup, but it is active. I don't want to give that information. I know it's at least active for 5 frames. 6 frames. That's the light version. And the medium version, it is active for 6 frames as well. And then the anti-air one, it's the fierce version, and it is active for 7 frames.
Yeah.
But yeah, the medium version is what I was talking about. Like it is used right now, lately, in conjunction with the V scale.
Yeah.
And it is a good way to chip away damage against Geef. Even though it is -6 on block,
you're really
Vega's
far
left
away.
at a very, very far away. So I think that as a Geef, one of the things that you can do is if it's -6, well, my fastest normal is 3 frames. So technically you have 9 frames to do something. And perhaps something like a medium kick could actually, if I decide to press if Vega has to press anything after the medium swipe, the medium kick will beat it. You know what I mean? And it's something that can reach far enough where it will touch Vega's startup. Maybe that's something that Geefs can implement, but I'm not sure. I mean, I don't play Geef, and I'm just thinking that.
Like, yeah, if they mistime it, like a lot of Geef buttons will actually beat that slash, but you do it from anywhere that's not close, and it's like nothing you can do.
Yeah, that's just one of those things. Geef sort of just has to treat that as That's just a factor I can't really control. At most, the most Geef's usually going to get out of that as any sort of advantage is just that Vega backs himself up a lot if he does the medium one.
Yeah, but then his walk speed brings him right back to where he was. So at least that's what I normally see.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if Geef is expecting it, he'll take the block, correct? He'll take the block. He is -6 at that point. Like what I'm thinking is, I mean, you're still at Geef is still an advantage. For example, if Vega decides to do that against a Chun-Li, or I think especially a Chun-Li, since he is like light version is -7, he can get EX legs by Chun-Li. She'll close the gap, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen players like Jury, really good Jury players, they will do standing fierce as soon as they block the medium swipe, because they'll get a crush counter if I decide to press a button because I'm -6. So if I press up my 3 frame, I am, -9. And then since they did a fierce, as soon as they blocked it, they can get a crush counter if I decide to get happy with my buttons. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, so you're you're -9. It's active for a couple frames. So if Geef did stand fierce, you would recover before it actually reach you.
Gotcha.
Stand medium kick might reach, which would
even if it doesn't reach, you're invading the space, and I think Geef would be able to get the counter hit at least.
Yeah, it's the fact that you can contest it pretty. You can throw a button out with very little harm to yourself.
Oh yeah, because Vega is far away, for sure.
Yeah.
I think another way Geef needs to look at it, or any situations like that where we don't really get anything concrete as like a punish, but they're negative, is at the very least, it's our turn. So even if it's not necessary, that doesn't necessarily have to mean that's our turn to do a button. That's our turn to encroach upon them, because if Vega's in that situation post that slash, if he throws a button out, if we were to just jump at him and he threw out a high recovery button, then we can get a free jump in, free empty jump, SPD, whatever. It also depends on where we are on the screen and the general distance, but that's another way to look at it, is that's just a free time for you to either you're going to walk all the way up on them so they have to push a button to, keep pushing you out, or you walk up a bit and jump if they're not ready for that. If they threw out something predicting that you were going to use that moment to gain a bunch of ground, then you get a free jump in.
Okay. Yeah. It's just it's not, you don't have to worry about oh, how can I punish this? It's just that you can get a mix up now. Basically is what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I know for the Rolling Crystal Flash, Keith has no problem with that. It's not really a matchup thing. It's just if Vega does it, then punish with SPD if you block it. If he does the EX one, you can punish with super, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's gonna be, if anything, that'll just show up as an accident most of the time in this matchup.
Yeah, because there's no reason for Vega to do that move unless it's for a combo. Because the only time you'd ever see EX RCF there is if he does it for a combo, and if he messes it up, he can punish with super. So look out for that, I guess. Oh, there is one thing though. With Vega's Barcelona attack, Marsh, for you personally, what do you what is the best way you've dealt with that move? Because if a Vega does it and is above you, I've heard 10 different ways of how people deal with that move.
Oh god, that move.
Because I know for myself personally, I'll do lariat every single time, and over half the time I will beat them, and the other times I will trade. Once the Vega player
that,
realizes he can do the grab instead of the regular attack, he can beat my
yeah,
lariat clean, and then it's a little unfortunate.
that move, it depends on the environment that I'm playing in. Like online, I think online, I've just been sticking with crouching fierce punch, or yeah, I think that's what I just stick with online is crouching fierce punch or lariat, whichever one I feel the most confident about. And offline, offline, the lariats fare a lot better, it seems, or I just meet. There are lots of times where I can meet them in ARSPD in time.
Oh yeah.
But I think if I'm feeling the least confident, if it's like we both are basically could die from anything, and he goes for the Barcelona attack, I'm just doing crouching heavy punch. Just if I were to feel most safe in an option, I just do crouching fierce punch.
How many active frames is that move?
Crouch heavy punch. It's 6.
6 frames.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have like a hurt box outside of it, right? Or does it have like a vulnerability?
I don't remember the actual hurt box on it, but it actually is a really good anti-air button.
It's a relatively safe button. I think maybe the weakest portion of it would be the shoulder that's not rising. It's probably the weakest part of it.
Yeah. It's not a good thing to deal with cross ups that you do lariat or sometimes jump or stand light punch.
Right.
Yeah.
And where do you think he struggles like with the flying Barcelona the most? Like in the middle of the screen, or is it in the corner?
All of Geef's buttons are probably a little because I've seen some Vega players who'll do like if I'm in the corner, they'll do like a heavy button and then just cancel into EX FBA and just try to jump on you. And in that situation, if you see it coming, you might be able to get crouch heavy punch really easily, or lariat or something like that. Most of the time, though, it's like he struggles with it more in the corner, though.
I see. So for Geef, is it viable to air Vega during the EX flying Barcelona? Like regardless if it's a slash or the grab, like is it a viable thing, or is it just better to kind of like man it down and see in the ground, like either dash or lariat or punch?
Jump light punch works really well. Jump medium punch can work. Like Marsh said before, there is air SPD, but that's pulling
hard to read, right?
Yeah, pulling that off quick enough is a little hard.
Gotcha. Well, there's a couple of scenarios where, for example, I know that the EX fly in Barcelona can be tough, not only for Geef but for anybody. In neutral, and I know that a very viable option just to kill the mix-up of is it going to be a grab or is it going to be a slash? Air to air, I think it's the best option, like the universal option. In the corner, it can be a nasty situation if it's after a knockdown. For example, one of the things that a Vega can do is after an EX roll, he is plus 38 frames, right? Mm-hmm. So he has enough time to dash forward twice, and then or just go for a straight EX fly in Barcelona and hit meaty with a slash, or dash twice, and then attempt to hit on the 40th frame with the knee up. And I think that whenever you're presented with that situation, I think it's just better to delay recovery. Whenever you see that Vega, for example, he just landed an EX roll, you just got cornered, right? Mm-hmm. It's just better to let Vega waste the meter if he's using that a lot, and let him land and punish his recovery. I believe his recovery is about 30 frames. So whenever he lands, regardless if it's the grab or if it's the slash. Okay. And one quick tip is that Vega, as soon as it's where this move is really the strongest. And I don't know if it's going to change in the next season, but I can understand just how difficult it can be. But for example, if a Vega is with without his claw. And as soon as he does the EX1 in Barcelona, he jumps from the corner and he presses it automatically. He punches automatically. That is a slash, and that will land. Opposite to the corner, so it will be a cross up. It will read as a cross up. But if Vega delays the punches and he decides to hold against the wall, or like toward the wall, he will slash right next to the wall. So it's kind of like a fake cross up. Like the computer won't read as a cross up, but he will hit you, like he will corner himself. And that is a really strong mix up. And
interesting.
You know, one of the things that works the most is just don't recover, like to avoid the whole mix-up. But if you feel that you have time to anti-air, then go for it.
Yeah, because the only other thing Geef could do is if he had V-trigger active, then yeah, he could just try flexing because EX FPA, the slash attack is three hits.
Yeah, it's three hits.
So you can't, like, even if you try your darndest, trying to flex the 2 hits, then walk forward to flex the third, it's too fast of a move. But right. Obviously with V-trigger active, you can flex all of them without moving, so, and then punish.
Yeah, and right there, Vega has to make a choice. Like, we have to decide, like an example is Ryu, is he can parry I'm going to go for Izuna. But then the slash is not an option, and then the Vega is vulnerable to be punished on recovery. And that is where some people just decide to avoid that mix-up altogether, right? And it's really, you know, it looks so cool whenever, like, you know, someone pairs Vega slashes. But sometimes maybe, especially like if it's a tournament or I don't know, if it's a high stakes match, then perhaps, you know, just waiting to punish the recovery would be best.
Yeah.
But exploring the options are good for sure. Because some Vegas will not learn and they will continue to do the slash and, you know, they'll get punished for it. And if they're not adjusting, like a Vega that would adjust to that, he will grab the next time. And that is when, you know, knowing the kind of Vega is, you know, the way he decides to approach the match, and if he's someone that can be taught to not do stuff, or if it's somebody that's just going to do stuff regardless. And I think as a Geef, it's one of the matches where you have to know everything that Vega is capable of doing. And I think that's why it's very hard, because there are many styles that a Vega players can adopt, you know, with the claw, without the claw. Are they going to jump? Are they going to sweep? Are they going to learn? Are they not going to learn? So I can understand he can be very annoying to play against.
Yeah.
So Geef players really have to outsmart him, not only on the technical side, but also in the mind games.
Yeah. The last thing I just want to say about the EX FBA is just, I guess, just to summarize, that it is a powerful move, or it can be a powerful move. But just know that if the Vega player is not careful, he's putting himself in a mix-up, just as bad as a mix-up as he's trying to put you in at that same moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like you're both guessing at that point. So.
Oh yeah, you cannot imagine. I was playing in a tournament against Forward. One of my first tournaments was in DreamHack, and I got parried, and it was the worst feeling because it worked online all the time. But I played against a professional, and then it's like, that's when I learned that I got to put myself in a mix-up.
Yeah. Hey, Sav. So we're gonna move on to something else quick. Marsh, I'll ask you first, because when Vega knocks you down, and Vega's going to be like, yo, I'm going to start going with my mix-ups. How scared of you at that point? How much do you, like, how much, like, trouble do you normally have with trying to deal with, like, Vega trying to do his rush down against Geef's defense, or what he has of a defense?
In general, I'm usually pretty relaxed when I get knocked down as Geef, because just aside from maybe like one character or two characters, maybe off the top of my head, for the most part, when any other character knocks Geef down, 9 times out of 10, they're more worried about what you're going to do than what you're thinking about what they're possibly going to do on your wake up.
Yeah.
Like when it comes, like that kind of help. It can kind of help and kind of hurt in some ways because it also could mean that a lot of geefs end up becoming really fearless on their wake up, which translates into lots of unnecessary damage.
Wake up flex like 3 times in a row.
Yeah, yeah. When they honestly like the scariest thing that geef can do against most of the cast is just wake up Bach because that's only really, except for whatever those few characters that can combo off their overhead or whatever. So the only way the opponent's going to be able to break down back is by throwing, which as long as Geef has a meter, that's always a disadvantageous option for them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll just start walking into your EX grab.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Vega has a commit. Well, he uses it way less than most other characters because it's just there purely as a mix-up option. Doesn't give you good damage. Doesn't really give you great Oki. It's just, as far as I know, it doesn't give great Oki. I could be wrong about that. If you want to correct me.
No, you're right. It doesn't give good Oki, and it doesn't have the best range. It doesn't have good range. Period.
Yeah.
The only one that is worth it, it is the light version because it has almost the same range as the EX version, and all of them are minus after a dash, except the EX one. The EX one after a dash, Vegas +2.
Plus 2 after he can command grab. That sounds pretty cool.
So Vegas command grab is 6 frames. So it works well against 4 framers. Doesn't work against 3 framers. So yeah, and on the regular one, since he is as minus as if Vega tries to dash after a regular Izuna drop, like it is, you should be able to contest it.
Yeah. The only point I wanted to make was that because there are some characters like with Alex or Akali or Birdie where it's like the command grab is part of their game plan, so it's like trying to react to a command grab from Vega, at least in my opinion, is a little bit harder because he barely uses it. So but the option is still there where if you think Vega's gonna go for a grab, whether it's regular or command grab, you got to throw invincibility. That is one of the few options Geef has for his defense.
Mm-hmm.
So Vega's rushdown. Sorry.
I'm sorry, what? Go ahead, please.
I was just gonna say Vega's rushdown is not the worst in the world, but it's not exactly the best either. It's just like it's there. He has it.
Oh yeah, mixed with his walk speed, even though his moves have significant pushback, the walk speed compensates for it, and it doesn't really create that scare of a mix-up because you can easily backdash, and he doesn't have any crush counter moves that hit mid-range. For example, like a Karin standing a roundhouse or a Ken roundhouse, or I dare to say, Fong. I know he's one of the weaker characters, but he has a standing fierce that hits mid-range. As a Vega, so if a Vega, the worst thing that could happen is that a counter hit, but his crush counter, his standing roundhouse, even though it reaches far, Vegas really don't take the risk. At least right now, maybe it will develop later in the meta, but for the most part, we're content with our regular medium pokes that reach far to try to keep you in distance and in check. But you can definitely walk back or even dash back to avoid the pressure.
Yeah, your forward heavy punch crush counters, and if those buffs go through, then you'll get a little bit more than just your V trigger.
Oh yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but if it does, then that move will definitely have more usability. And actually, his crouching fierce punch is supposed to crush counter, and that'll be interesting as well because that move right now, even though it doesn't have priority, it is active for 4 frames. I'm pretty sure that if they're gonna give it a crush counter, possibility, what do you call it? Crush counter property, then maybe it'll get nerfed on the active frames because his clawed crouching fierce punch is 2 active frames. Same properties, same startup, same recovery, but 2 active frames only. And the clawless one is 4 active frames right now, but it's going to receive the crush counter property. I wouldn't be surprised if they nerf the active frames.
Yeah. Um. So yeah. So yeah, Geef normally doesn't worry too much about the whole rush down thing from Vega. It's just like the worst thing that happens is if he knocks you down and then puts you back in neutral. That's usually worse than actual rush down in terms of this matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll flip the table a little bit. So yeah, I know you expressed it a little bit before, but like yeah, when Keith knocks you down, like how much do you hate that? Because like for in terms of Vega's defense, he kind of kind of not there.
Yeah, not there for sure. That's like when I wish I had a DP. Like whenever I was playing, you're one of the very few games that I play, Alex Layman, and I remember that one of the things that I was always afraid of is, okay, so I'm afraid of the command grab. Like I'm afraid of the dash, command grab again, or I'm afraid of the dash forward. Like let's say a command grab or even a grab. Like Vega especially is afraid of the dash forward and what's gonna happen. Am I gonna get hit with a low? Am I gonna get hit with a regular move? Am I gonna be command grab? Is it gonna be a regular grab? Is it gonna be a fierce kick? So me personally, as much as I hate it, and it's a habit that developed with Street Fighter V, is for the most part, I will contest. I will contest. I'll see. Okay, if is it a light SPD? Is it a fierce SPD? And I'll contest with a button, right? To see if the player knows his setups, but I will definitely, for the most part, block and walk back. If I'm getting counter hit, like if the Geef is getting counter hit, then I will definitely stop pressing buttons. And if I'm definitely terrified of getting any damage because I'm close to death, close to stun, I will V reversal. And the V reversal, I mean, as you know, Vega, like who completely evades, he almost goes, I don't know, 1/3 of the screen. I don't know.
I've expressed my thoughts on his reversal to you before.
Yeah, and the thing is that I mean it is great because you completely avoid Geef, right? But I cornered myself, and then that's one thing. But yeah, I'm terrified on Wake Up for sure against Geef.
Yeah. For people who don't know, Vega's V reversal, because for every other V reversal in the game, whether it's a one that hits you or one that tries to dodge out of the way, Vega's is really unique because his is the only one that goes backwards, and two, his is the only one that's grab invincible, which means that the only way to punish it is to hit him on the couple recovery frames he has at the end of the V reversal, which Geef cannot do normally. If you're point, excuse me, if you're point blank, so like let's say I do a jump button into another button, and you Geef's regular option select for V reversals just to input SPD in between buttons. That doesn't work obviously. If you're point blank and you do the short one, Geef can option select running bear grab. If you do the long one, that doesn't work. So he literally no options against the far one.
Yeah, that's true. And it happens with the Urian as well. I mean, he will do his V trigger, he'll set up his Vega's reflector and everything, and Vega can completely negate that with the all punches V reversal. And that's a blessing and a curse because what can happen is that Vega's cornering himself. He's not only giving his V meter, but he's also cornering himself. And you can Geef players, and I've talked to other Geef players about that, and you have to take it as okay, he spent meter. I mean, I'm good with that. I'm going to corner him, and then kind of like think a step ahead. And think, okay, well, what's he gonna do now that he cornered himself? Is he gonna fly in Barcelona across the screen? Is he gonna slide? And then be ready to punish that.
Yeah, because Vega has multiple ways out of the corner or to attempt to escape out of the corner, not just jump. So you have to be it's because there's the spend the meter to try to get out, or do a button into V trigger just to fly across the screen,
Mm-hmm.
or even your wall jump. Oh yeah, also I don't we didn't really touch on his V trigger because if people are watching this video to learn about the matchup, his rose is not a projectile. It does not count as a projectile. Do not try to lay it or use your own V trigger thinking that'll beat it because it will not.
Wait, what?
Your rose is not a projectile.
Yeah, no, it isn't. But yeah, so one move is the lariat is projectile invincible.
Yeah, but your rose.
So people try to lariat that and then they get hit.
Yeah, they will
See,
get hit.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. So there is so that it is really annoying. So like if you do a button into V trigger, I didn't test this. I don't know, but like if you do a button into V trigger, I don't know if you can V reversal and make the rose whiff because it counts as a strike. I don't think that works. I'm just thinking of it in my head.
Honestly, no, I don't think that Vega can be hit out of it. As soon as the V trigger, like if the animation starts,
Yeah,
your
V trigger is really fast. Vega. Yeah, and the other thing is that if you block Vega's V trigger, you can't really punish him unless you're in the corner and he messes up a V trigger combo, putting himself in the corner. Then he's really close to you.
Correct. So Vega's V trigger, he is -2. So usually Vegas will mash light kick, thinking, "Oh, okay, I got this." They don't know that I'm minus, and then they'll get lucky with every now and then with a counter hit. The truth is that you should go for a low because usually Vegas will walk back, or they'll attempt to grab. So a counter hit low maybe can net you something good. Yeah. But yeah, he's -2 in every instance.
And the last thing is that the rose itself is one hit, but if the rose connects on you, then he'll do 2 or 3 hits after that, meaning that you cannot try to flex his V trigger either.
No, yeah, don't flex it.
Yeah, so you either just have to accept it and block it, or if he does them from far away for some dumb reason, you can try to avoid it.
Yeah, I think
with a jump, mind you, not with anything else.
Correct, and I think that as soon as Vega gets V trigger, I mean, it's kind of like when a Ryu gets V trigger and then he sweeps like a million times. Because to trying to cancel it into V trigger, same thing. Expect a Vega to do a sweep, cancel into V trigger. 90% of the time, I'm still trying to get rid of that habit. And it's one of those things where it's not worth it to V reversal as Zangief because you're gonna waste meter, precious meter that you can use, on your V trigger. So just kind of like block it. I've had people that can jab out of it, and I honestly haven't tested that, but I've had people that can jab the cancel from a sweep into my V trigger, or even grab. Like it's incredibly weird.
Because there's a gap between the sweep and the actual V trigger connecting on you.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a risk of getting counter hitted, but just block low as soon as you see a Vega that has V trigger because he will sweep and cancel.
Yeah, it depends on when the sweep actually hits you.
Yeah. Also, he can anti-air Rose. So I've been using it lately. I've been trying to get into the habit of using both V triggers per round. Like before, I would be like, okay, I got V trigger. Okay, I have it stuck. It's a threat. But I would actually, disregard the use of it, right? And lately I've been like, okay, so it's an anti-air option now. It's 10 frames, but if I see like a grappler, like in Zangief's instance, where he decides to do a jump in from a difficult angle, V trigger anti-air is actually an option as well. So that is something that Zangief also has to think of.
Yeah. All right. So was there really anything else you guys wanted to touch on, or?
Well, I think that covered most of it, all of it. I think.
Yeah. So like with final thoughts, I know for me, so it's basically just like Vega wins the neutral. His rushdown is there. You don't have to worry about it. Don't try to waste reversals or do anything crazy. He'll poke you with buttons. But then so getting Vega knocked down or getting him in the corner and just smothering him as much as you possibly can. Because even if you try doing that whole try to play neutral from your stand heavy punch range, all you're doing is giving Vega a chance to get out of the corner with his multiple options. So it's better just to smother him.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I mean, you have to be active against Vega. You can't just be okay. I'm going to play footsies with you because no, I mean that's not an option.
I'm going to beat you at your own game. Watch.
Yeah, no, it's like trying to play I can try to play footsies with Chun-Li as Vega, and it's like no, it's living hell. But I don't. Okay, one thing, guys, can you B-skill Vega's role? Because I know that the EX roll is a really good tool to corner carry, regardless. If you have I don't know, because if you have V reversal, you can actually V reversal and stop the whole roll by itself. But in the beginning of the match, if I have meter, especially against the Guile, where I know that he doesn't want to get cornered, right? I will use V reversal, the EX roll to corner. I'm -2 anyway, so it's 50-50. What am I going to do? Am I going to backdash? Anything. Can you V-skill that?
How many hits is it? Because Geef when he's not in V trigger, the most Geef can do is 4 hits.
Okay, so so the hit is 1, 2, 3. I think it is 4 hits. The EX one, it's 4 hits, and then the last one where he kind of does an downward hit, downward kick. But I think that maybe if the move, the EX roll already began, you see the animation, right? And you know that it's going to end soon, or it's at mid animation. Maybe you can V-skill that, because I know I've gotten V-skilled out of that before.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's actually 5 hits for EX, but there's 8 frame gaps between each thing, and actually there's an 8 between the fourth and the fifth hit is an 18 frame gap. What the hell? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. I know one time, and it made an impact on me because I thought, so I can't just use it freely against Geef. Mm-hmm. But I know that it wasn't out of a cancel. I know that I used it as mid-range to try to close the gap.
Yeah, if you did a button in the EX roll, I don't know which button you could use that would make it a true block string. Because if you did just for a random example, if you did light punch in the EX roll, he might be able to flex before the EX roll comes out, so he'll be able to flex and then interrupt you mid roll.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I may even test that as well.
Yeah.
Let me try to think as well of something.
Yeah. Sorry, Marsh. Did you have any other final thoughts on this matchup as a whole?
Probably the biggest thing anyone listening to this could take away from it as a Geef is, above all, just take your time with the matchup. Don't try to force the situations that you need to happen, or it usually just turns into you taking a bunch of damage unnecessarily.
Yeah. The general mindset of a Vega going into, this is going to be free, I'm going to frustrate him to death. That is the general mindset of a Vega. And I think as a Geef, it's very important to understand that and, work a strategy to counter that mindset that a Vega has right now. I'm going to zone you, and I may even run the clock.
Unless you're Seal, because then he's like, why is this 5-5? Why is my life hell?
So yeah, I completely agree with Marsh.
Yeah. Sorry, Marsh, you need to say something?
Oh, no.
All right. So, Nolan, do you have time for games right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Because I will spend a minute. Actually, I first will spend a minute getting my controller because somebody else is using it right now. So.
Well, is there any more questions about regarding the Vega matchup that you wanted to ask? Or maybe even scenarios. I know the EXY in Barcelona in the corner scenario is very common, and even Shoto's they're they don't know how to deal with it. But maybe other scenarios?
Nothing I can think of off the top of my head. Yeah. So give me a minute. I'm going to get my control. If one of you wants to make the lobby, that'd be really nice.
Yeah. Hold on.
So, yeah, be right back.
Yeah.
Whoever plays first doesn't actually matter.
Let's do this.
When did you get the diamond slane?
I don't remember. A couple weeks ago. I usually only play ranked like once a week or something like that, so it took me a while to get there. Marsh, your mic's freaking out quite a bit.
Is it all right now?
Yeah, it seems to be alright.
Whoops.
Spectating has been held.
It's go time.
Alright then, do you guys want to try that a second time?
Yeah. It shows you're still in battle.
Yeah, I'm still looking at white screen.
Let's try that again.
Let's go. All right, is this still recording or not? Like the voices?
Yeah, no, everything's still recording.
All right, cool. Yeah, there we go.
Round one. Fight.
Nice.
He is plus after you if you block though.
Oh, yeah.
Round two. Fight. Vega wins. Round 1. Fight! Round 2. Fight!
Is that stand heavy punch and the anti-air slash like a Geef only thing?
No, it's a tall character only.
Oh, just all characters.
Yeah.
I've never seen people do that.
Yeah, I've been getting into the habit. I've been trying to get into the habit of using it on all characters because he does have plus. I believe when I tested, it's plus 44 and plus 49
Okay.
on knockdown, so I can get a jump in.
Pretty good.
Vega wins.
And I believe if you can block standing, and then if you crouch block, it will still count as a block. You know what? Like the anti-air won't whiff. Like the anti-air slash won't whiff. You'll block it.
Round 1.
Huh.
Fight!
Kind of like that. Like how you see this whiffs the second roundhouse. Okay. But if you were to block standing and then crouch block on the standing roundhouse, you were forced to block regardless. You learn.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, that was good.
Oh my god.
How much stun does that do?
EX SPD?
Yeah.
300.
Oh.
Round 2.
Yeah, it's a decent chunk.
Fight!
Yeah, well, he has to. Alright, so that stuff, from claw on to claw off, I'm -2. And then from claw off to claw on, I am +1.
Final round.
So I can do a 3-frame and it'll beat stuff. Nice. However, nice. So from claw on to claw off, if I do any normal, you can jab out of it. And the Q is the twirl.
So if he did light SPD and not EX, like the game has to be over right now. He got super.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Oh, thought I had a claw.
Come back to the sentry.
Oh, nice. The rolls are -5, I believe, on block.
You can SPD
Zangief
all
wins.
Yeah.
light SPD at least. I think I already said before, EX roll is only -2, but you can super that.
Mm-hmm.
Round 1. Fight.
Nice. So quick thing, Zangief can wake up EX SPD from a jump cancel, right?
Round 2.
So a melee will whiff or no?
It should still hit him.
Yeah, jump cancels don't make meaties miss or anything.
Oh, okay.
They would just make meaty throws miss, and there's no reason to do that if you're using a throw and miss move.
Because I know that. Oh, then that explains. Because I've tried meaty command grab, and I've gotten countered by another command grab. EX command grab.
Yeah,
Oh no, good stuff. So that explains them, right?
Yeah, Zangief and Birdie's EX SPDs are both 5 frame and then active for 2 frames. So for those 7 frames, they're throw invincible.
Final round.
Gotcha.
Fight.
Wake up EX SPD is actually a thing Zangief can do if he's trying to read the throw.
Nice.
Oh, that sucks.
See, I was +2. I and the crouch and light kick connect. Like usually, a lot of people know that setup, so they'll backdash
Vega wins.
or they'll walk back, so they'll get tagged by the left. But good games, man.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, just take notice of the stance changes, because Vegas will do that to test if you know the matchup. So remember, like from claw on, you see a twirl, do a crouching light punch or whatever is your best combo starter. Because the fastest thing that could happen is a
headbutt.
3. What? That'd be headbutt?
Yeah.
All right. So here we go.
Let's do this.
I'm ready to get red on with Flamin's legendary reads. I hope our connection is good, because I know that sometimes it can be shaking.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, it just seems to be like a thing with
Servers.
Yeah, because like I've been over this with tons of people of like, oh, your connection sucks, and like I've shown them like every single thing of like my connection's fine,
Round one.
their
Oh, yeah.
like their connection's fine, so it's just like a weird server thing.
Oh yeah, likewise. I think that it's a server thing. Nice. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh,
Oh no.
oh.
Round two. Fight.
Nice.
Nice read. Nice.
That was meaty. In case you're wondering why you didn't.
Yeah.
There we go.
Whoa, that was good. So what do you mean it was MIDI? Like the V trigger or
Yeah.
the crouching leg kick?
Final
No,
round.
the V trigger suction. The suction hit you late. So the crouch light kick. I was actually positive, not negative on that one.
Oh, gotcha. That makes sense. Nice.
Oh, we'll just cancel it. Oh,
Oh no. Ah.
and dead. Yeah.
You see, I wasn't expecting the empty jump, and I was like, no, empty jump, command grab.
Yeah, the command grab missed. Yeah, that super was not
Round
intentional.
one. Fight.
I can't be like canon confirmed into super off start being kick like that. You don't have enough time.
Nice.
I tried backdashing that still hit me.
Ooh. Oh no, I did not have meter.
Round two. Fight.
Sick.
Ah. Yeah, a little crazy.
No, no. Okay, that's meaty, right?
Yep.
That's a legit setup?
After EX air SPD, medium, heavy, or EX regular SPD, if I dash forward, I'm +2.
Okay, that's legit then.
After light SPD, if I dash forward, I'm -3. That's why you don't see me doing it.
Perfect.
Because Vega has a 3-frame normal.
Which, season 2, probably not anymore.
Yeah, no.
Round 1.
I don't mind them having it.
Fight.
People with no defensive options whatsoever, if they have a 3-frame normal, it's whatever.
Is Maskednobleman a tag you use at tournaments?
I've used it. Oh no. That does slightly a little bit more damage than the grab. Not worth the 2 meters, but to close around it is.
Fight.
Yeah, there you go.
That was meaty again.
Oh no. See, I keep standing.
Oh, with punish, yeah, nice.
You lose.
Alright, so another thing that we're gonna go over is that if I land that kind of that V trigger, the neutral V trigger rose, Vega can do a raw flying Barcelona and grab. Now, you may be able to lariat out of it. You may be able to, but it's usually like safe against the characters like Nash that have a 4-frame, they don't have DP.
Oh, what the hell?
I forgot to combo out of it. Nice. Varus opposes.
That one wasn't meaty. Now you're just scared of it.
I was
happening.
waiting for the time to V reversal. I hate that V trigger so much, but I need to do my research. Nice freeze. Nice. Ah. Oh god, the reads.
Round 2. Fight.
Nah, I won't kill. No, 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 no.
Oh, I traded.
Final round. Fight.
I traded. Okay, there we go. You might be dead, actually.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, that was good.
You win.
Ooh, oh, we got ourselves a set here, apparently.
Round 1. Fight.
Nope.
Yeah. So you can V-skill and then grab. In range? That's interesting. I wasted my V.
Oh, cut the recovery.
Does that thing have recovery? The V-skill?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, that's probably why.
Round 2.
it's got like 20.
Fight.
If I just tap B skill, like the entire frames is like 25.
Got it.
And that jump knee can beat a lot of things.
I could probably punish that, but I don't know. Oh no, 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 please, no! Please. Well, that's it.
Oh man. Okay.
Final round. Fight.
Oh no, it didn't reach. Oh man, good games.
Good games, man.
win.
All right. Well, I think I've taken enough of both your guys' time.
What?
It's go time.
No, I'm about to sign off, but
Yeah.
so regarding that, yeah, like that is really interesting. So you can V-scale Vegas, V-scale, redundancy, and then you can grab him, right?
Yep.
That is really interesting. Because so far, I haven't seen, it wasn't done that to me.
So yeah. Well, thanks both of you guys for being here and all that.
Oh yeah.
Endowing your knowledge to the masses.
Noble.
What's up?
Probably the best thing to do against Geef's V-Trigger is to sort of fight against the standing reset it can leave you in. Just there's pretty much no reason to not just hold up, because if you're getting hit, you're already going to be in a combo anyway. So if Geef tries to go for a reset, you're jumping.
Okay, so what do you mean? Like, let's say I block the when I block the V trigger. That's what you mean?
Like if you get hit by it.
If I get hit by it.
Yeah.
So what should I do there? Just crouch block?
No, he's saying to hold up because you either get hit by the V trigger, because if I do the suction, right, then I did a grab to reset it, right? If you just hold up, if I do like some jabs to keep you grounded, all I did was add like 80 damage to my combo because I reset it with some jabs. I didn't actually do much for it. But if I hit you with the grab, that's 240 damage, and then you're in a way worse situation. So even if you get hit by the few jabs from holding up, that's still way better than getting hit by an SPD in the reset.
Good. Yeah, I definitely gonna implement that for sure.
Because well, the best thing Geef can get, because you know if Geef does like reset shenanigans with his V trigger, he usually can't get like the full hits into the juggle. So if I get like that level 2 V trigger where it pops you up but I can't get a juggle, the best Geef can get is like a safe jump.
Gotcha. Honestly, I also wasn't expecting the empty jumps. They're super tricky. Like I'm just focusing. Crap.
Yeah.
But good stuff, man. Well, thanks for inviting me, Slane.
Yeah. Do you guys have any shoutouts or anything you wanna say before we sign off here?
Nothing really. Just I hope everyone's ready for season 2 because I feel like it's gonna be a vastly different game. Like I'm not even ready for all the things that are gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to explore stuff.
Oh, I completely agree.
Yeah, Noam, is there any shoutouts or anything, or no?
I'm sorry, what?
I said, is there any shoutouts or anything you want to say before we sign off?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Marsh, for you, something?
I guess shoutouts to the Vega Discord, and shoutouts to my wife, and she supports me, and to my that's pretty much it. My good friend TJ Dark Zero Omega and Platinum GNG.
Shout outs to Geef Discord, all the Geefs that are rising up, coming back from the dead, still waiting on Canon to show up. I see you Overhated. I see you can't remember all their names, but all y'all get back in the game. Geef coming back to life. Shout outs to Kalumpster, always telling me I'm trash, all this stuff, beating me with Mika, all that stuff. Shout outs to Ramasama. Shout outs to Joshan. Yeah.
Alright, well, yeah. Those discords will be in the description below. Description, if I can say that word right. But yeah, again, thanks you guys for coming. Thanks for anyone who was watching, and yeah, bye.
All right, bye.